we're here to do a drive video early this morning. We are here on I-94 heading east in northwest Indiana. So we started the video at the Indiana Toll Road and just entered Porter County. Let me go ahead and pass around this truck. But it's a nice morning. I'm filming this on the 4th of July, so even though this video will be going up much later than the actual recording, happy 4th of July or happy Independence Day, everyone. So yeah, it's early in the morning because yeah, I'm feeling it's almost 7:30 in the morning. That's kind of why we're gonna be seeing the sun in most of this video today. So yeah, I apologize for the bright sun today, but at least it provides for some nice weather conditions to drive in. But yeah, it is very, very mild out today. My current thermometer is already reading 73 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, that's like around 22, kind of like around 22 degrees, maybe close to 23. So it's gonna be a hot one today. So this is a continuation of the I-94 eastbound series, although I finished everything in Michigan already. But the other video I've done before this one was the one coming out of Chicago. And basically ended where I started this video. So we're basically going ahead and getting the rest of I-94 recorded eastbound in Indiana. At some point in Michigan, I do need to film westbound. So yeah, this video we'll be driving through the rest of Indiana because we'll be finishing at the Michigan-Indiana border. So northwest Indiana, there's quite a lot in the area. We're near Portage, Indiana right now. But so anyway, so northwest Indiana, it's like the eastern end of the Chicago area. Because yeah, again you have Portage, and then further west you got Gary, Indiana, and then other cities would be like there's Hammond, Munster, Griffith, just to name a few of them. So as I was saying in my previous driving video that I uploaded a week ago but filmed yesterday, I'm on my way back home to Michigan from a nice little long weekend in Wisconsin. I decided to go up the other way though. I went up by the Mackinac Bridge and went across the Upper Peninsula. Where today I am, and yesterday too, I came back the other way, which is probably not a bad idea because the traffic in Chicago was not all that bad. Yeah, you can see everybody slowing down. I was like, oh, it's a police officer ahead. Thankfully, I was already going the speed limit, so I didn't have to worry. But yeah, I will say though, it's like, yeah, because I drove through Chicago yesterday, and even though it was a Monday and it's the holiday weekend, but there's a lot of people who did work on the Monday. Heck, I was supposed to work yesterday, but I ended up taking the day off so I could do this trip. But yeah, Chicago traffic was not all that bad, but I did take I-294 instead. I didn't go through downtown Chicago because that was still bad. See, this video's not going to be all that long because, yeah, according to the sign up above, it's 22 minutes or 25 miles until we get to the state line with Michigan. So, yeah, this is going to be shorter than some of the other videos. And then off to the left, well, not immediately, that's just a refinery, but closer to the Lake Michigan shoreline, you have Indiana Dunes National Park, which is a beautiful park, by the way. Just a few years or so ago, it was upgraded from the National Lakeshore status to a national park. And yeah, I was chatting with my good friend Dima. Like, as a matter of fact, wasn't filmed or anything, but I got to meet up with him last night because he lives in the northwest Indiana area. So so since my hotel was in the area, I got to meet up with him for a few hours, get some food, and he got to show me around some different areas. Which, heck, I may have to come back sometime. Who knows? Maybe later this year, maybe film some type of video. Check out like some communities around Northwest Indiana, and he can be basically like my tour guide. That might be a cool video idea. But like, yeah, he was telling me that since the dunes became a national park after being upgraded from being a national lakeshore, there's been a significant number of people who have been flocking to that park. But yeah, it's interesting though, just how many people would. So as soon as it becomes a national park, like people flock there. But I do know that crossing off not a bucket list, but like a checklist of all the places or all the national parks, it's a thing. There's a lot of people who make it their mission to visit every national park, but they don't really include like national monument, national lakeshore, national seashore, but it's just national park. Which, yeah, I don't really get that, just because, well, it's fun to do, but it's like the saying, quality over quantity. It's like, yeah, I love to visit more of the national parks or in the national parkland, but it's like at the same time, because there's so many places around the world I would love to visit, I don't see myself visiting every national park. Although, watch, I say that and it ends up happening in the next 20 years, because I could meet someone, and then she would have a mission of wanting to visit every national park or something. So it's like, for example, I could be like, I want to go visit every country in Europe, or then a future girlfriend or wife would be like, let's go see all the different national parks. Let's do like an RV trip for a year. Just be digital nomads and visit every national park. So you never know. But yeah, anyway, there are more national parks I would like to check out at some point. And yeah, coming up here, this next section, yeah, you can take Highway 49 south to Valparaiso. I remember going there a few years ago. I filmed a video there. Yeah, in a little while, we'll be getting to the Michigan City area. Yeah, when it comes to national parks, I haven't been to one in a while, like an actual national park. The last one I think I went to was Acadia National Park in Maine 2 years ago. Since then, I've only been to national parkland, but not an actual national park. Well, heck, this year I went to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore up in the Leelanau Peninsula of Michigan, where I got to. Yeah, so I went up to the Leelanau Peninsula one day, and I got to go to the Sleeping Bear Dunes for a little bit. And then back in April, I went to Cape Cod National Seashore when I went out to Massachusetts. is another trip in the books. And as I was saying in my video, my drive video from that I uploaded a week ago, but again, I filmed yesterday. My next trip is another weekend, like a long weekend trip like this one. Although the next one I'm going to be flying instead of driving. So I'm going to be going to Calgary, Alberta. Because a very good friend of mine, Kelsey, lives out there, and I'll be doing a lot of cool stuff with her that weekend. So really looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to seeing her as well too, because she's a very close friend of mine. And if you've seen any of my older videos, she used to live in Toronto for a few years, and when I went to Toronto in 2019, I got to meet up with her for the first time, because we've known each other online for quite a few years or so. And like even back then, like we still didn't really know each other that well 4 years ago, but like now we're really good friends. So we're like we pretty much chat every few weeks or so just to catch up. And so yeah, it'd be really nice to get to spend the weekend with her. Well, long weekend, because I'm flying there on a Friday evening and returning home on a Monday. But that is the cool thing about having friends all over, though. It's like anytime you travel, it's like you can go to a different place and get to meet up with some really cool people, and of course that's the cool thing about solo travel too, is that it's like you can pretty much plan whatever you want, and then you can meet a lot of people and just maybe have the freedom to hang out with how many people as you like. Alright, and we're now entering the Michigan City area. But yeah, I remember going to Michigan City a few years ago, and it's a pretty cool city. It's like I remember going to, I think it was Washington Park. That's the park that's on Lake Michigan in the city, and yeah, I remember that being a very beautiful park. Trip to Calgary is in real time. It's the weekend after next. Immediately this upcoming weekend, yeah, like probably not gonna be filming anything. I'll be taking maybe a recording break for next weekend. Because I know my aunt, or one of my aunts who lives in the Metro Detroit area, she's throwing an annual family party at her lake, so that'd be really fun. The weather forecast change is supposed to be really nice too, nice and sunny, so we get to go out on their boat, which would be a lot of fun. Yep, I was right, Washington Park. Oh yeah, the good news is I think in a couple minutes or so there'll be a lot of times where we'll be heading more to the northeast and the north, so the sun glare may not be as bad. I mean, what's pretty interesting is that it's around Michigan City where I-94 starts to head more to the north a little bit, to start going up into Michigan. Stayed at was in the city of Munster, which is one of the communities in North. It's one of facing like a pretty big park there, and with it being the 4th of July weekend, they had a fireworks show last night, and my hotel room window was facing the fireworks show. So I got to watch the fireworks from the comfort of my hotel room. So that was pretty cool. Show, like gone on my way to seeing one in a very, very long time, like not probably since I was a kid. It's like any of the fireworks shows I've really seen in recent history were ones I happened to come across, or I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And last night was one of those moments. Just like I remember 4 years ago, it wasn't for the 4th of July, it was just a random weekend in August. I remember going to Mackinac Island, and my hotel was in St. Ignace in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I was coming back from watching a sunset over at Lake Michigan, and as I was coming back into St. Ignace, I was seeing fireworks going off, so I ended up pulling over into a parking area and got to watch a little fireworks show. It wasn't a major one, but it was cool to see. The one I saw last night was a big production. Because well before the show started, I was seeing that there was a whole bunch of people at that park. So yeah, it was definitely one of the bigger fireworks shows I witnessed last night. And coming up another mile, we have the exit for Highway 20, which Highway 20 was, it's like it says it goes into Michigan City, but in reality, Highway 20 goes to the south of downtown Michigan City. And then Highway 20 continuing east, that'll take you out towards South Bend. Which I remember filming a video on South Bend, but that was quite a long time ago. I need to get back over to South Bend, because I still get comments on my old South Bend video, and I've been seeing a lot of comments explaining how much South Bend has changed in the past several years. So it might be cool to head over there. Who knows, maybe I can make a trip out of that later this year. Because it's not terribly far from where I live, like I can easily get there in a day. Yeah, not a lot of traffic out right now. There was quite a bit of cars when I first got on the freeway in Northwest Indiana, but I was still more in the Chicago area. Where here, it's a lot more calm. But again, it's like, this is the nice thing about leaving like at 7:30 in the morning, or 7:30 in the morning. Not much traffic out, because with today's the 4th of July, but people are probably going to be going back to work tomorrow, because I'll be doing the same thing. So there's going to be a lot of people heading home tomorrow. Or I mean, sorry, today. So figure, leave early and beat the traffic, because it's only going to get worse. And of course, another reason why I came back through Chicago too is because I can only imagine how bad I-75 going south through northern Michigan would be like. At this time, it may not be too bad, but after a certain point in time, it's going to be insanely crowded. Yep, so another few minutes, we should be crossing over the state line, and that's where I will be ending the video. And then seen in this video, but another driving video I should do at some point is Highway 31 in southwest Michigan. I think it's like the St. Joseph Expressway or St. Joseph Freeway or something like that. I forgot the name of it, but it's something like that. It's the freeway stretch of Highway 31 that comes up from South Bend, Indiana, and goes all the way up to I-94 near Benton Harbor. Because last year, I think last fall, they finally completed the Highway 31 freeway as it heads up to Benton Harbor. Because for a long time, it ended just shy of I-94, and then you had to take just a regular road at grade intersections over to I-94, and then it continues its way along I-196 up toward Holland. But they finally completed the freeway, so now they built an interchange, or a new interchange at I-94. So there's now a direct connection with the freeway without having to get off the freeway. So I should try to film that at some point. This will be my last video that I'll be filming from this trip. So I got to film 3 driving videos, including this one, and 3 travel vlogs. So it was a great weekend for it. I got very lucky with the weather. Like, it did not rain at all. It was nice and sunny. If I would have stayed home in southern lower Michigan, I would have run into some rain on Sunday and a little bit on Saturday. So I picked a good weekend to head up to northern Michigan. And then, well, northern Michigan and, of course, northern Wisconsin. And then, yeah, not this overpass, but up at the bridge up ahead, that's going to be the state line for Michigan and Indiana. Not only that too, but we'd be crossing over into the Eastern time zone from the Central time zone, because Northwest Indiana and also Southwest Indiana down near Evansville are in the Central time zone, where the rest of the state's in the Eastern time zone. So I'll have to change my clock back up an hour. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this video here on I-94 East, going from the Indiana Toll Road or Interstate 80 and 90, going all the way to the state line for Indiana and Michigan. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come on join for the venture, and don't forget to click that notification bell.
Welcome to Michigan.
So that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman895 here from New Buffalo, Michigan.